TIFU by not cleaning the depths of my belly button. TLDR. Didn't realize how deep my belly button was and never cleaned it fully. It sealed up and I cracked it open like a cold beer. This happened 3 days ago and I'm still a bit traumatized. I was taking a shower and cleaning my belly. I do clean my belly button, but I only ever really swabbed the entrance and thought that was good enough. On this fateful day, I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing. My soapy washcloth slipped and plunged deep into the depths of my navel. I felt a brief but intense pain, almost like I had just poked myself hard in the belly button. After a quietly muttered ow and a cursory check for blood or viscera, I finished my shower and went about my day. I foolishly believed that my belly button problems were behind me. Little did I know. I spent the rest of the day with a growing pain in my navel region. I felt discomfort when I bent down, or even laid on my belly. I brushed off the pain, assuming that I had simply bruised my belly with my inadvertent poke. However, the next day I was still in pain, so I took a look at the offending area. As a quick aside, I've always had a deep belly button. Like, the innas of innas. I could plunge my finger in up to my proximal phalanx with no issues. But when I looked at my belly button now, it seemed deeper and wider than before. And what's worse, a layer of gunk had accumulated around the entrance to my old mouth. Think of the kind of gunk that builds up around ear piercings. It's mainly sebum, dirt, and old skin. My belly button had never been obviously dirty before, so I knew something was afoot, or ably. After a quietly muttered WTF, EU, I fetched a tissue and wiped away the offending schmutz. I considered where this muck may have come from, and realized that it must have originated from my belly depths. I grabbed a Q-tip and gingerly inserted it into my belly button. 4 Q-tips later and my horror was mounting rapidly. My belly button was so dirty. And so deep. And so stinky. I swabbed the decks as best I could, then just sat and stared into the middle distance for a bit. Have you ever had a moment when your perception of yourself as a functional adult human being is completely shattered? When you realize that there is a fundamental aspect of self-care that you've just never done? When you wonder how you've made it this far as a person in society? This was my moment. I texted my mom, a retired nurse, to confirm my fears. I believe that my naval neglect resulted in a buildup of gunk that slowly filled up my belly button. At some point, I think the gunk sort of sealed my belly button together like some sort of disgusting letter. When my washcloth slipped, I broke the seal of my decades-old missive and freed the contents. To date, this is the silliest and most embarrassing injury I've ever inflicted upon myself. My mom joked that I could try carbon dating my layers, I'm a geologist, and said that the pain I'm feeling is probably because the gunk in my belly was stretching out that area and affecting my pain receptors. Now I'm leaving my belly button alone for a few days to see if it heals up and feels better. If not, I'm headed to the doctor. Moral of this story: remember to brush your old mouth, or you'll end up like me, fundamentally and irrevocably changed, with a sore belly and a mind full of regrets. To clarify, I'm taking care of my belly button and will wash it out with hydrogen peroxide and isopropyl alcohol. Also, I'm a woman with tiny baby hands and small fingies, but I'm learning that my belly button may be abnormally deep. Maybe I'm in the running for a new Guinness World Record. Where do I go to submit an application?